Let's ask a wild question. What if we could all just breathe underwater? Forget rockets to Mars for a second. What if the greatest, most unexplored frontier wasn't out there in space, but right here in our own oceans?
I mean, really think about that. Just picture it. You walk into the surf, the waves crash over you, and you just let yourself sink. But instead of that instant panic, that burning need for air, you take a breath, and it works. You feel the oxygen filling your lungs, drawn right from the water. You're not just surviving, you're home.
You wouldn't need a heavy scuba tank strapped to your back.
No clumsy rebreather, no mask fogging up your view, none of it.
It's just you, your body, suddenly perfectly adapted to the 70% of our planet that has been almost completely off-limits to us. This isn't just a superpower, you know? This is a fundamental rewrite of what it even means to be human.
Okay, so for this to even be possible, what would actually have to change about us? Biologically, how would this work? Well, it would require a complete overhaul of our most basic systems.
Our lungs would basically have to become this incredible hybrid system, part lung, part gill. On land, they'd work just like they do now. But the second you're submerged, it's like a switch flips. A new biological process kicks in, allowing your lungs to pull dissolved oxygen straight from the water, kind of like a fish's gills. It would just become second nature.
So let's say this happens. Overnight, everyone on the planet gets this upgrade. What happens next? I'll tell you what. Pure, beautiful, exhilarating chaos.
We're not just land dwellers anymore. We are a two-world species. And that simple fact kicks off a brand new chapter in the story of humanity.
And daily life? It would be completely transformed. If your house catches fire, you just jump in the backyard pool until the fire department shows up. Your morning commute could be a swim through a gorgeous kelp forest instead of sitting in traffic. Fishing? Forget rods and nets. You just swim alongside the schools. And can you imagine the sports? Underwater rugby, canyon racing through coral reefs. It's mind-boggling. Coastal cities would absolutely boom, becoming these massive aquatic gateways.
But let's be real. This new world isn't some underwater paradise. The ocean plays by a very different, very old set of rules, and we'd have to learn them fast. See, breathing underwater is one thing. Surviving is something else entirely.
We would be far from invincible. Go too deep, and the water pressure would literally crush you. The deep ocean is freezing cold. Hypothermia would be a constant threat. And the darkness? We're talking about an absolute pitch-black nothingness that can mess with your head. Oh, and right, we'd suddenly be on the menu for some very large, very toothy predators.
But we're human, right? We adapt, we innovate. We would build incredible cities on the seafloor, engineered to withstand the pressure. We'd figure out how to farm the ocean, maybe harness geothermal vents for power. We wouldn't just visit the deep, we would make it our home.
Of course, our arrival would come with a heavy price. The very beauty we'd be flocking to see would be at risk. Imagine the foot traffic or fin traffic on delicate coral reefs. The noise of our cities would disrupt whale communication. The entire predator-prey balance would be thrown into chaos. It's a tough irony, isn't it? In our quest to embrace our planet's oceans, we might just end up destroying them. And you know what else we'd bring with us? All our conflicts. It's just what we do. This vast new frontier would instantly become the world's biggest and most complex geopolitical chessboard.
Just imagine it. Entire battalions of soldiers moving silently beneath the waves. Amphibious special forces would be the new elite. Nations would go to war over valuable minerals on the seabed. You can bet the deepest, darkest trenches would become the perfect hiding spots for top-secret military bases. A whole new Cold War fought in the abyss.
But beyond all the conflict and the colonization, this new ability would light a fire under our oldest instinct, the need to explore. And it would finally push us to conquer the last true frontier on our own planet, the deep ocean.
Think about that journey down. First, through the sunlight zone, full of life and color. Then deeper, into the eerie twilight zone, where strange glowing creatures are the only light. Deeper still, into the crushing pressure and total blackness of the midnight zone. And finally, all the way down, to the trenches.
Challenger Deep, the very bottom of our world. A place so hostile, so alien, that only a few machines have ever touched it. And now, we can swim there. The sheer psychological weight of being that deep would be just as intense as the physical pressure.
And down there, at the bottom of everything, we find something that changes everything. Not some monster,
Something much more profound. We find ancient microbes that have been evolving in total isolation for maybe billions of years. It's like discovering a second Genesis, a form of life with a totally different rulebook. It would force us to rewrite biology and could even hold the secret to how life on Earth began in the first place.
This would be our generation's moon landing, no question. A discovery so huge it would actually unite all of us, even for a moment, in a shared sense of absolute wonder. And all because we finally embraced the wilderness that was here all along. So, after the dust settles, or I guess after the silt settles, what does our future look like? How has our relationship with our own world been changed forever?
Well, here's the biggest takeaway. Our livable world has just expanded by 70%. We're not just visitors to the ocean anymore, we're residents. We've expanded our territory not by conquering other planets, but by finally truly understanding our own.
But that makes you wonder, doesn't it? What if this is just the beginning of our adaptation? What if, over countless generations, we evolve to the point where the deep ocean is our only home, and the land, the sun, the air, all become a distant, alien memory? What kind of human would that even be? Something to think about.
If you enjoyed this journey, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more space adventures, and share this video if you liked it.